Welcome back to another evening market update. We're getting a pulse on the market. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. As always, today is Thursday, March 7th. I was going through and doing my purchase on my normal daily DCA strategy with the Pulse Challenge, and I was getting that in before starting the stream, so my apology for having y'all just sit there in silence. But anyways, let's kick it off with an intro. Welcome to another ATX crypto episode, and let's kick it off.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is work.
All right, welcome back everybody again. I hope y'all all got a fantastic little introduction of me sitting there looking like a lost chicken, but whatever. It's always fun, guys. That's part of the whole streaming life. If you know, you know. Let's just say it like that. If you know, you know. But at the same time, folks, I wanted to show a little update on the evening Pulse update with PulseChain, with HEX, with PulseX, with the incentive token. I wanted to talk, of course, at the normal Bitcoin movement. Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear once again, resisting some pullback, but hey guys, we're about to see a massive bull run, so it's all getting started here. And then of course we're going to dive in on the SEC doing another pushback on the Ethereum ETF, followed by some crypto news. So without further ado, let's share some screens. This is actually going to be the screen showing Bitcoin currently sitting at a price of $67,082. We had a high just recently breached. We talked about that last week. It hit 69,156. It hit there for about 1 minute, and it looks like it's kind of gone back up there once again. Even after all of the fight and all of the pushback, let's switch it up to a 4-hour. Let me just kind of hide this for a second and put this on. We'll even do seconds here. And if you don't know what this is actually the little AMC thing that I actually drew out. So basically the AMC GameStop scenario where they basically shut down and they halted the transactions. That kind of felt what happened right here. Back on February 28th of 2024, Coinbase went down. And then for 15 minutes, the price dropped from $64,000 to $58,145. Many people got liquidated. It felt like a short squeeze was going on. So many people just basically called Coinbase and was like, hey, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But within this one candle alone, it literally went from 64,000 all the way down to 58,000. So I don't know if they like called people and stopped people from transacting. That was whenever everyone's Coinbase basically showed zero balance. But neither here nor there. That was obviously a few days ago. As of a couple days ago, that was when we actually breached the all-time high. You can actually see if we just zoom on in up here. Bitcoin actually hit its all-time high right here on March 5th, 2024 and broke above it. Now, one thing I will say for every single person here who's watched this channel in the past, who's checked out my videos in the past, is usually when things break its previous all-time high, Bitcoin in particular, usually you're looking at a 12-month run. So do we end the bull market in February of 2000 or March of 2025? That is something we're going to be keeping an eye on. There's going to be so many things this cycle that's done that it has not done in the past. So without further ado, let's dive in a little bit deeper because Bitcoin has rallied all the way back up from the 58,000 all the way back up again to the 68,000 within the last couple days, and it definitely is on a bullish movement. So Bitcoin is looking like it wants to go on an absolute tear. It's going to fight out the last little weak hands that happen through every single crypto out there. But while that's going, Ethereum is just moving, y'all. If you don't know what this is a beautiful doji engulfing candle, and you got two of them. Usually when you get a doji engulfing candle, it's when this green candle is thick. You get a sideways and then a thick green candle. You get another green candle, a little sideways, and then a thick green candle. That is very, very bullish Okay, like when I talk about bullish behaviors, that is the bullish behavior you want to be seeing on a particular chart. Granted, this is a 4 hour, so normally I'm not trying to trade or do anything like that, so I wouldn't normally be on the 4 hour, but even on the 1 hour, you've had several doji engulfing candles, and it looks like it just wants to absolutely tear. Ethereum is currently sitting at a price of $3,915. Mind you, that is absolute fire, y'all. So basically what's going to happen this cycle, Bitcoin's going to go do some crazy numbers. Ethereum's going to go do some even crazier numbers. And what am I most excited about during all of that? I'm not excited about either of those doing the crazy numbers because I'm excited about HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. And again, this is actually brought out to our lucky viewer, Richard Hart, who came through, not viewer, lucky creator, who came through and actually showed us once again. Richard Hart is absolutely crushing the game. So whenever I go to Twitter, I want to show you one of the most recent posts that he ended up doing just a moment ago. And it's basically the exact same thought. It's, I think I share a very similar sentiment. Now, he is the creator of these tokens, so he's obviously going to be a little bit more bullish on it. But he says, I think Ethereum price is going to go up. Pretty easy to say. I think Bitcoin price is going to go up. Again, we're in a bull market. These are going to happen, y'all. I think ETH price will go up more than Bitcoin, and we're going to look at the comparisons on how Ethereum has done in the past against Bitcoin. But then he says, I think PulseChain, PulseX, HEX, and ETH can go up more than both of them. ETH has already done a 19x in 3 months, my friends. 19x in 3 months. If we actually go to gopulse.com and just pull it up from the all-time low, you can see the ETH price is currently sitting on a 16.6x from its all-time low. Speaking of prices real quick, while we're talking about this on this page, PulseChain is currently sitting at 30147, PulseX sitting at 4057, incentive tokens $6.54, HEX sitting at $1.78. This is HEX on PulseChain. HEX on Ethereum is currently sitting at a penny. So looking at these charts overall, this is again HEX on PulseChain right here. We are still on a bullish flag pattern that we've been in. But if you actually go back and see, we've been on this bullish trend all the way since August of 2023. So it has continued to go through, and we may even bounce even within this range. And it would actually typically be well within reason. So don't get it crazy that we have to just break out from here. But it's very likely that we're about to see a massive breakout. Now that's HEX on PulseChain. Now let's look at HEX on Ethereum, currently sitting at 1 cent right now. Pull up this for the fib retracement levels on what it's done as well. The 915 EMA have flipped over into a bullish mark right here. So it's actually gone into a bullish pattern. We do want to be seeing that kind of information overall. This is just showing that we've been in a beautiful consolidation range, essentially all the way back since October of 2023, to just be buying anywhere within these prices. Because as soon as it breaks out of these prices and it starts reaching these levels right here, the 2 cent level, the 3 cent level, the 4 cent level, guys, it's game over at that point. It is game over at that point. Now, it's not fully game over. There's still plenty of time to be getting in. I think if you are buying this token for at least the next 6 months, you're going to be doing a massive X from even your entry level at any point in time during the next 6 months. You have to understand that we have just started the bull market in January. So do not get distracted with new shiny objects. Try not to get distracted with all these new projects coming out. It's easy enough to try to want to go make more tokens on top of your tokens. I think this actually came from a Patreon member, but he said usually you in the finance world, you want your money to go to work for you. And with Pulse and PulseX, people are used to actually earning some yield from HEX, because a lot of the individuals who are in Pulse and PulseX have staked their HEX before. They've earned trustless yield during that entire time. But now they have Pulse and PulseX, and they have it liquid. So that just means that they don't know what to do. They can throw it in yield farms, but even in yield farms, you can pull it within the same minute, day, hour, week, month, however long you want to, and there's no penalty. However, in HEX, if you decide to stake out, even if it's just for 30 days and you only do it for 1 day and try to pull it, you are going to be penalized. If you go out further, like say you want to lock it up for a year, you choose the time frame that you want. But if you lock it up for a year and then you decide to pull it out after a month, you are penalized. There is no penalty in PulseX or incentive. There's nothing to penalize these individuals. So people don't know what to do. So they're looking for the next new shiny object. And I get it. I get it. Right? People want to make that money. Go make that money, you know? But I see massive X's happening inside the near future, especially within the next 12 to 18 months of the ecosystem in crypto. And I think along with that, PulseChain is going to be right there with them too. We're going to go through the comments here in just a second, but I did want to pull up one of the alerts just to kind of bring it to y'all's attention. So that way, if y'all haven't seen it, there's some massive moves going on right now in the ecosystem. Now, this isn't just coming from the ecosystem from us, right? This is actually in general, and we're going to pull up a couple of different things. So first, one, can we talk about Ethereum? Can we talk about the GWEI? This sucks, guys. I haven't seen GWEI below 40 in over a week. So I made a video today, if y'all haven't seen it already, if you're trying to find a way to get into the PulseChain network, but you don't know how to get in, I made a video on that showing how to go from a centralized exchange to the Arbitrum 1 network over into PulseChain using the bridge from SparkSwap. Go check it out. It's 8 minutes long, very helpful, very informative, and it will let you in so that way you can transact on a better, more efficient network so your energy and your capital can be used efficiently and you aren't just wasting it to gas fees. Because I'm seeing people pay $100. Look at this cost. To swap a token, $136. Just to swap. That's just you paying for a gas fee to swap. Like, that doesn't even get you a token. That is you just saying, hey, I want to go buy $20 of a token, but you got to pay $136 of it to swap. Does that make sense? No. Come on, guys, that doesn't make sense, and I hope y'all realize that. But again, I have not seen this below 20 in the last freaking week. You can go in here. It's been below 40. It's been in the hundreds many times. It's been in the 70s half the time. That's not good. That's not good, y'all. I don't care for this. So again, I made a video showing how to get it done. Even right now, it's sitting at 44 GWEI. That's too expensive, man. Straight up, too expensive. But looking over here, if we actually look up the DAI token in particular, this isn't really talked about with the mainstream narrative in crypto, but it's something important to understand that one of the holders, and again, one of the holders, the top holder, was sitting on 200 million DAI, and they have just moved all of that 200 million DAI into different protocols, such as Ethereum, such as Compound, such as Maker and Aave. They've moved it over. They've earned some yield. Now they've took a portion of that 200 million, and they're moving it into smaller wallets of 20 million. Saying these numbers out loud is just crazy. I can't even fathom doing that kind of move and then making it to be efficient for everyone. But it's happening because right now, if you look on Pulse Alerts on Twitter, you're seeing 70 wrapped Ethereum bridged in. This is bridged to Ethereum, so this is actually going out. But you're getting in this one, 286,000 of Tether bridged to PulseChain, 303,000 bridged to PulseChain, 220 Ethereum bridged to PulseChain. My guys, that is incredible stuff. $850,000 in DAI bridged to PulseChain. Like, this isn't a joke anymore, folks. This is just 6 hours ago. Hours, y'all. Hours. That's not even that long. $200,000, 7 billion PulseX just sold. Guys, these moves are massive. If you want to follow Pulse Alerts, you can. Their handle is at Whale Pulse, so you can look them up. Pulse Alerts, or just type in the handle at Whale Pulse. Shout out to them for just tracking that kind of information. If you like diving into some more information, you are welcome to do so. Let's see what's going on with some chats real quick. Yeah, exactly. Lord of the Ponzi made it. What's up? What's up, Bugs? How you doing, my friend? Is this a test? No, it wasn't a test. Yeah, I know. Lol. Oh, goodness, man. Goodness. That's just how it goes sometimes when you're streaming. I'm honestly shocked, and I know I have some hotkeys created to allow me to stream, to swap screens and that kind of stuff more efficiently. I have one that says start stream, and I must have just hit it accidentally, and so that's exactly what went down. But hey, to each their own. You got a couple of minutes of silence and looking at my beautiful face apparently. So I hope y'all got to enjoy that once again. Because I know I sure did. It was a funny thing. And I appreciate the call, Westcott. Appreciate the text, Benny. Appreciate all the texts for everyone coming through being like, you know, you're live, right? Because I didn't know I was live in all reality. So I'm glad that I was given the heads up on that. And I hope y'all all got to, again, appreciate some of that little setup on that one. In terms of some news, real quick, guys, this is something I was actually finding on Decrypt, but the SEC once again has delayed the Ethereum ETF. Now, it's no surprise. This has been a thing that they continue to do, and they'll basically continue to do. They have until they basically get 3 times, right? They can punt it 3 times before they have to make a decision. And essentially, this is the second punt, and now at this point in time, heck, I'll even just pull up the article. This is the second time. SEC punts on BlackRock Bitcoin ETF options trading, but this is the BlackRock ETF option. They also created one. Let me actually go find that particular one. This is on, I know it's on March 5th, so let me go find it real fast. But they keep on punting these things out. And just like, make a decision, man. SEC, ETH, ETF. Let's see if I can pull it up on this one. Coinbase backs Grayscale ETF, Ethereum hits, This week, coins, Trump softens. Those are all February, so let me actually go back. SEC, ETH, ETF. And I know I had it saved on the phone. I apologize. I really thought I had it pulled up, and I had the wrong one pulled up. So let me pull it up where I can. According to Bloomberg's ETF analyst, James Seyfarth, the SEC implicitly accepted Ether as a commodity when it greenlit the futures ETF. He also argued that the SEC didn't object to ETH being categorized as a commodity when registering it. And now, you know, that BlackRock has accepted the ETF for Bitcoin. You can see they accepted it for 11 companies, and they've been massive. The pump in Bitcoin has been insane, right? But once again, I'll actually pull up this article here. SEC pushes back decision on BlackRock Fidelity's Ether ETF applications, and they want to know if the applications for ETFs that hold Ethereums are supported by the same arguments that led the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs. And why wouldn't it, right? But they delayed making a decision on spot Ether ETF applications, while May 23rd is the final deadline. If applicants start updating their filings by April, it may be a sign for optimism. And they're basically just trying to like create this question like, hey guys, how do you know it's secure, right? Right now there's it's a proof of stake network, and how do you know that it won't just be jeopardized somehow, some way? They're just trying to come up with anything that they can. Continuing delays in the next few weeks are to be expected, with May 23rd being the date to watch for. So what does that mean? Well, if we saw what happened with the Bitcoin ETF, which we did, as of the 11th of January, the approval for Bitcoin ETF was set, right? And on that particular day, there was a massive sell the news event. So you can see this is when the buy the rumor was going on. And you can see the sell the news event. So from this day alone, again, this is on a daily scale right now. From that day on Bitcoin, it roughly dropped around 21%. So it went from in the ballpark of 50,000 all the way down to 38,000. Now from that time, and once they started buying, my freaking goodness, have they just absolutely bought it up. They've continued to buy it up. And granted, this is that red candle day where you actually saw Bitcoin pass its previous all-time high prior to a Bitcoin halving. That's never happened before, y'all. Never in the history of Bitcoin. You go all the way back, all the years back. Never has happened once in the history of Bitcoin. It's happened now. Okay, love you. Okay. So being that all of that went down the way it did, what does that mean when Ethereum actually gets to? So right now, this is almost like a buy the rumor event, right? This is a buy the rumor event. And then as soon as the news happens, which could be by May 23rd, you've already heard it right here, we're probably not getting any decision until May at bare minimum, at the earliest, right? At the earliest. So looking at all of that, taking all that into consideration, I could see a pullback when the ETF gets approved. It's a sell the news event. Everyone knows it's buy the rumor, sell the news. It is a sell the news. Even a 20% pullback right now on Ethereum wouldn't actually do that crazy of a price action. It would only bring it down into about the $3,000 range. So kind of crazy there. And what if it actually ends up going all the way up to its previous all-time high as well, which was this blue line right here, 48.68. What if it gets all the way up to there and then does a 20% pullback? Even then, if you were to buy right now, you would still be breaking even, because that's basically a 20% pullback. Now, Ethereum does move a little bit more than Bitcoin on these moves. So if I was to actually overlay the chart on Bitcoin for this particular one, and you can see they've pretty much been moving together. Bitcoin has done a pretty massive move into a recent time on this one. Let me throw it on log and make sure this is on log as well. Okay, cool. They both are. So Bitcoin has done the earlier moves than this one, but Ethereum is following right behind it. Okay. So even with all that said, if Bitcoin wants to continue going and doing crazier things over here, well, I can imagine that we're going to see Bitcoin or Ethereum come back, test the all-time high, and what do you think is going to happen at the all-time high? That's a resistance level, y'all. That is 100% a resistance level. So it's going to end up hitting around 4,800, and then it's going to have a dip. How far the dip goes, who really knows, right? What if by this time we get the news of Bitcoin halving, which is mid-April? Which, like, we still got over a month to go, by the way, y'all. Today's only March 7th, and all of the indicators that I'm looking at are all freaking mega bullish on this one. And I do mean mega bullish for sure, because they have all just continued to rally on the way up. And it has been that way ever since basically November of 2023. And guess what? When Bitcoin started pumping, it was November of 2023, right? So all of these things are going and falling into place. And that's why I do believe that we're going to be seeing some massive moves. And what happens when Ethereum moves, all the rest of crypto really starts moving as well, because things are tied together through Bitcoin, but not really so much. A lot of things are tied together through Ethereum. And I do mean a lot. So that's what I see happening. Let me see and hear what y'all's thoughts are on this. All good, bro. We here. Appreciate that. Good thing you didn't do anything embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know what embarrassing stuff I would do, man. I'm a pretty simple person, but you know, I get you. Picking my nose, maybe. Greatest intro of all time. Appreciate that, Westcott. Hell yeah. We're gonna crush it this cycle. Facts on facts. Benny Davis. Appreciate you with the heads up as well. What else we got? We love ATX. Appreciate you live. Yep. ATX late night. Of course, Crypto Bendu. ETH gas now costs a tank of gas for a Humvee. Like that's not good, man. That's literally not good. That sucks. And like you do I buy groceries or do I swap a token on Ethereum? Like, those are your choices. You can buy groceries for a week, or you can swap a token one time on Ethereum. Dude, that's not usable, man. Come on, get out of here. Welcome to PulseChain. Hello, there's a better system. It's all of the stuff that has on Ethereum copied over on a PulseChain. It's all copied over, folks. Everything was copied. Literally everything. Every ERC20 token, every protocol, everything, every NFT, all of it was copied over on the PulseChain. So go start checking it out. You probably have some crypto over there. If you were holding crypto as of May 12th of 2023, you probably got crypto on PulseChain. You might want to go check it out. And you might want to see what happens. Again, I made a video showing how to get onto the PulseChain network, and it only ends up costing you a couple of dollars. So go check that out if you haven't already, or if you're confused and you don't quite understand how to get it saved on the money side. So that is the SEC news pushing back on the ETF for Ethereum. Once again, they are still pushing back on the Bitcoin ETF options trading. Like the SEC just sucks, man. Let's just be real. The SEC is garbage, and they're very slow. They don't come out with rules. They don't come out with any addition. They try to throw shit against a wall to see what sticks, and so that's why you see literally everybody and their mother getting some sort of announcement from the SEC, some sort of civil lawsuit, some sort of something coming from the SEC. That's why many people, and even say Coinbase, for example, is one of the bigger ones. And there's so many of them. All the tokens that were out there, if you were a top 10 token, well, hello, you got a little notice from the SEC because they just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. They don't actually make any decisions. They're waiting for Congress to make a decision. And Congress is like, dude, fucking be a grown up, make it a goddamn decision. And they won't. So yeah, it's just freaking weird, man. All the exchanges are hoping to allow traders to buy and sell options of the products after a terrific month. I can't even imagine opening up options on top of Bitcoin as well. It'll be like a GameStop rally, man, where people are just gonna freaking ape in and just do stupid shit. And if you are gonna do that kind of stuff, make sure you're smart. Make sure you don't over leverage yourself, because if you look at the overall people of who got liquidated, even just within the last 24 hours, 200 million people have still been liquidated. Price action isn't even that crazy. And I just imagine what happens when we actually end up getting a full bull market where you can really start seeing massive moves, right? And I do mean massive, y'all. Like when you're in a bull market, things just like to go like this. So keep that in mind. Yeah, looking at the overall charts for the liquidations, though, of where we're actually at. Let me pull up this one here. This is basically where everyone's going to be getting liquidated. This is Bitcoin right now sitting at 66,000. Everything here is basically people saying that they're shorting Bitcoin, and they're basically saying price isn't going to go higher. And then it's just going to go bloop, 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 and it could just smash. Like, it's going up thousands of dollars on days, guys. Like, it's not even, like, if you pull up Bitcoin alone and just look at some of these moves, look at this move alone. Like it literally, whoops, I have the drawing on. So if you actually pull up just this move alone, it went from 51,000, we'll say, to 54,000. $3,000 snapped up in a day. And then not only that, it then went from 56,000 to this candle right here sitting at 63,000 in a day. The moves are thousands of dollars at a time. And to think that you're going to say this is the top of Bitcoin and short it, dude, you're going to get freaking wrecked. If you think this is the bottom of Bitcoin and you're going to long it because you think it's going to go higher, you are also going to get wrecked, because not only do you see moves on the upside going quickly, you can see the exact same thing on the downside where you see a move like this, where it literally drops 15% in a day. It goes from $69,156, breaking its previous all-time high, to $59,173. Get wrecked, right? Like that's exactly what happens right here. They're like, oh no, it's not going to end up hitting 50,000 again at 59,000. Smash. Gone. This is minutes, y'all. This is like, if you pull it up on hourly over here, I don't even know if I can, on the 4 hour, that was within minutes. These are like, look at this, literally 69,000. 3 hours later, you're wrecked. What if you stepped away? What if you fell asleep? What if you took a shower? What if you went to go get food? What if you did something during that time? Liquidated, gone. All the money that you've been working for, gone. Everything that you've been waiting for, gone. And all you have to do is just buy the underlying asset and do nothing and wait. Okay. Well, some people can't do that, man. It's very unfortunate. We see it all the time. That's why people are getting absolutely smoked on the liquidation. But again, looking at all these metrics, they are bullish, but it doesn't mean that it's just going to go like all of a sudden. It will eventually. And when it does, it's even crazier. But again, you're going to get the price correct. You're going to get the timing wrong. I say that all the time. So if you think the price of Bitcoin is going to hit 100,000, cool, it probably will. But if you think it's going to hit 100,000 in a day, I don't know, it might. But most of the time, you get the timing wrong. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful. Be mindful, y'all. What else we got? Hey, what's up, Blind Royalty? Appreciate the super chat as well. You are appreciated, Tupac Voice. Hey, thank you, man. Oh, 1 second here. Showing the dojo. What the heck? What happened? Appreciate the super chat as well, my friend. So Blind Royalty says, "You are appreciated. Thank you for all you do, good sir. You're a sound voice in a world of distractions." Appreciate that, my friend. And yeah, guys, that's going to be a lot of the overall sentiment on the market right here, y'all, because things are going to happen. Things are going to happen faster than you think has ever been happen. You're going to make more money than you've ever made possible. But if you go start playing with new protocols, go get wrecked, go short, go long, and you go start taking on margin and all these other things, you're going to end up getting liquidated. And all you had to do, it's like you're trying to take a shortcut and something that's already a shortcut. Crypto is already a shortcut, y'all. There's no need to go try to do all this additional stuff. There's literally no need for it. Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. You can go make some extra money. But if you have the ability to turn $100,000 into $5 million, how greedy do you need to be? Instead of saying 5 million, I want 8. And I get it. Like, that's life-changing money for so many people. But if you took profits along the way, this is the first cycle. Maybe now's not the time you retire. What if you just have the ability to take profits along the way? After you have $5 million, maybe put $1 million in the bank. I don't know, take out 20%. Have fun. You're still sitting $4 million in crypto, right? Once you have $1 million in the bank, could you last another 4 years with $1 million? The answer for that should be yes. And if you can't, you got to figure out your lifestyle. You're paying way too much, right? You're trying to live a bougie lifestyle, and that's going to get you also wrecked as well. So keep that in mind when you're actually doing some of this stuff, right? Because like if you have 5 and it goes to, again, $1 million, you put that in the bank, you have 4 million now, and then it goes through and do its bear market drop, which by the way, on average, roughly around 90%, right? That means you lost $3.6 million, but you didn't actually lose $3.6 million, but people beat themselves up over it. So they literally are saying, dude, I had 4 million and a lot, and it went down 90%, so I only have 400,000, and you know, I don't like, that sucks, man. It stinks. And they go through and they beat themselves up. But you did so good. You put $1 million in the bank. Last another 4 years. After the 4 years, if you don't have to sell your crypto during a bear, which by the way, so many people had to do this bear market because they retired too early. They did stupid stuff. 2021, they saw a bull market. This has been one of the longest bear markets that we've seen in crypto. Things are just taking a little bit longer and more drawn out in general. So that might mean we actually get a longer bull market too, but there's no guarantee on that. So if you see your portfolio go from 400,000 or 100,000 to 5 million, that's a 50x if I'm not mistaken, right? That's nothing that's too crazy in crypto, y'all. But everyone wants to speed that process up to go get the millions right now. And all you have to do is just wait another 12 months. Like, it's not that far-fetched to imagine you've waited this long. And if you're just getting into crypto, congrats, man. You're getting in at one of the best times. But don't think that you're just like King God because you just bought a crypto and it goes up 10, 20, 30x all of a sudden. You're in a bull market, man. So that's what happens. People got caught up in that cycle too, especially with the NFT craze. So many people are like, man, I'm buying my NFTs. I'm doing this. I'm making money. I had a buddy who was pulling $10,000 a week in NFTs. Crazy money. Just insane. And then they thought they were like the top dog and everything. And then the bear market came. And they lost so much of it. And then they had to sell the bottoms. And so they can't even last through the bear market because they had to sell the bottoms. And now you're in a situation where you had millions of dollars at one point. You had to sell all of your crypto at one point. And then the bull market comes back again 3-4 years later. And then you're just starting from scratch all over again. Like, that stinks, guys. Like, put the 5 P's in practice of proper preparation, preventing poor performance. Find a strategy that makes sense for you. Take profits along the way accordingly in a ladder method. This is not a crypto that's a meme token where you have to be in and out within fucking seconds, hours, or days. Some of these meme tokens that are getting launched, they don't even have longevity to last a week. They're literally coming in, getting all the liquidity, dumping, and then gone. And that's like, I see this happen where they're dead in a day. I've seen it happen where they're dead in hours. And there's more, there's like 50,000 tokens now. More get created every second because the protocols are so much easier. AI is here to make freaking the ability to do all the things for you. That doesn't mean it actually has longevity, right? Like, it's not going to be here in the next cycle. And you're trying to get in, but you have this mindset of holding longevity, but then you mess with meme coins. And that fucks with you guys. It really does. If you haven't done it before, it does mess with your mind. So keep that in mind. Lol. That's funny. Keep that in mind, and it messes with your mind. Anyways, what else we got going on, man? What else we got going on? Hey, so much fun, my friend. So much fun. I appreciate that so much as well. Blind Royalty was the 10th super chat from the channel, by the way. I just got a little message saying let's celebrate the 10th super chat on the live stream. So appreciate that, Blind Royalty, once again. What we got going on? ATX late night, yep. What happened to the price of ETH when ETH is bridged to PulseChain? Nothing. Not because it bridges over wrapped ETH, right? So it's like, it's still ETH. It just wraps it. And so it holds the price. And so if the price of Ethereum on Ethereum goes up because it's wrapped, the price of this wrapped Ethereum also goes up. And then when you bridge it back over into the Ethereum network, it unwraps it, thereby giving you your Ethereum. So if you wanted to do that, what's funny, and a lot of people don't even know this, but you can actually go onto PulseChain right now, and you can actually buy wrapped Ethereum. You can buy your stable coins over there. You can get your HEX over there for Ethereum. You can get wrapped BTC on PulseChain. So you can actually go buy all of these tokens, and then when the time comes and you feel like it's necessary, bridge it back to the main network, or bridge it back and then sell it through the centralized exchanges. So you can come in here and, for example, with DAI, and just say you have $1,000 in this scenario, and you can actually go buy $1,000 worth of DAI, or you can, if you have 1,000 DAI right here, you can actually go buy $1,000 worth of wrapped Ethereum on a cheaper network. The gas fee costs less than a penny. Like, why would you not want to do that? What, guys, why would you not want this? You can literally go buy Ethereum on PulseChain. Keep stacking your Ethereum if that's what you want, right? And then when you find yourself to have a big enough bag, bridge it over into Ethereum if that's what you want. But that's not what I want. I want more gains, so I'm buying Pulse, PulseX, HEX on Ethereum, HEX on PulseChain. Those are the tokens that I'm getting. The incentive token. These are the RH tokens. These are the tokens that I'm personally purchasing. But if you wanted to, you have that option. If you want to go buy wrapped Bitcoin, you can. You can come in here and say you have $1,000. Once again, I'll let the auto router do what it does real fast. But if you wanted to, you can buy wrapped Bitcoin over here and buy 0.01 Bitcoin right now. Wrapped Bitcoin. Congrats. And how much is it going to cost you? Oh, 2 cents? How much would it cost you on the Ethereum network if I wanted to go do a swap like that right now? Matcha.xyz. Let's just pull up. Let's just check it out, man. It's been a while since I've pulled this up, so let's just see. So I'm going to do a little market buy, and I'm going to swap these, and I'm going to say I wanted to buy with DAI $1,000. How much would it cost me right now? Now, granted, Matcha will actually go through here and give you basically a auto gas fee, so you end up kind of losing a little bit of gas in this one, but let's just pull them both up. PulseX and wrapped Ethereum. I'm just going to compare real fast. I just want to see side by side what we're actually looking at. Once again, 1,000 over here. It's going to do its thinking. So that would give us 0.255, essentially close to the Ethereum on that one for what we're looking at on Matcha. And then on PulseChain, it would be 0.257. So you're getting more on PulseChain. And again, this is like, guys, why would you not want this? And it's so much cheaper. Like, so much cheaper, y'all. So much cheaper. I don't know how many times I can say that. ATX is the best alpha in crypto. Appreciate that stressful struggle. Let me move that over a smidge more. What else we got? ATX late night. Yep. ETH gas. Yeah, it sure does. I smell a major pump coming. I hope your bags are packed. King J, you're absolutely right. I think the SEC dip will turn out to be one of the greatest blessings in my life. Yeah, for sure. And when the SEC BS gets finished, all this money is aping in. Yeah, there's plenty of people and franchises and companies and, you know, even just Genesis holders from Ethereum who've been holding it for 8 years that want to get in, but they want the SEC stuff to be done, and I can't blame them. Like, that's cool. Dosed Easy says, "What's up? How you doing, my friend? Twin fam, long time no see, I guess. But you're absolutely right. This ain't XRP. They already did something in the background. This level of money won't pull back. I don't think there's enough, 100%. Stressful struggles, yo, bro, love every time I see you live. Appreciate that. FPause says facts. How do you feel about liquid loans? I've used them, so I'm a fan of the fact that you can borrow liquid loans, and I've said this here before, but I'm a fan that you can borrow against your pulse and not have to sell it. Now, if you're being stupid and you have a very low collateral ratio, fuck, anything less than 200, you're going to get wrecked and it just sinks in that situation. If you aren't familiar with it, they have redemptions. And if you're on the lower side of the collateral ratio, you are the person they're being redeemed against. And so you're actually losing money that way. It's just not fun. But again, if you maintain a high collateral ratio, 1,000%, 500 or more basically is the easy way of doing it. 600 if you're really careful, and more is the way to do it. Yeah, you're probably pretty safe in that regard. The price would have to drop pretty significantly for you to actually be liquidated. So you're in a safer position there. The price would have to drop below previous all-time lows, which I just don't see happening. But again, like I just don't believe in putting all your money in there just to go borrow money at this time. Now, in the bull market, when the bull market's really here, imagine you go and do a 50x on your bag, a 100x on your bag, 1,000x on your bag. And you started out with $1,000. You go do 1,000. I'll even say 100x, right? We're just going to be generous. So you started out with 1,000. You do 100x. You're looking at $100,000. You can go borrow against that and not have to sell. So you can actually put it inside a vault with liquid loans, borrow maybe 20,000, and then keep your ratio in a good ratio. That's 800% collateral basically. And then at that point in time, if the price keeps going up, your ratio keeps going up, and you're in a situation where you never have to pay back. So if you have things like credit cards, higher things that are raising the rates and charging interest, you can pay those things off and not have to worry about making a monthly expense or a monthly fee. So that's cool. But again, use it wisely. I don't really do anything else with them anymore at this point in time. I did the stability pool for a while, and I would just swap my token earned into more of the RH tokens. But yeah, at this point in time, I've basically pulled all those positions. So it's just up to you for you to figure that out. And again, I'm not using Power City at all. I let new protocols come out for a month before I even consider touching them, by the way. That's just me. You're going to miss out on some of the APRs and all that good stuff. But again, like, you shouldn't be just aping in and just because the APR is going to drop anyways. So you want to find out where a good flat part is, how much you can make, what your average is. Because if you buy right now, you could make $100 today, and then tomorrow you're making $10, and then the next day you're making $1 a day. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I was making so much in the beginning. Yeah, but that's just how it always goes. Yep, for sure. I was pretty scared about liquid loans before they came out, and I know they have a long way to go, but I think in the future it will be a very valuable, especially the liquid loans token. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get it. They own a lot of PulseChain. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really have anything against the LL team. I think, they've had their own little hiccups. We can't say everyone hasn't had hiccups at this point. PulseChain, PulseX have had a hiccup with the V1, V2 liquidity, that kind of stuff. But again, I'm not like pointing fingers. I'm not saying anything crazy. But if you're smart about it, say you end up, turning that $100, $1,000 and it turns into $1 million, and you was like, dude, I want to go borrow $100,000. Well, fucking pretty cool, right? Or maybe you just put $100,000 into the protocol, so that way you're not putting your whole stack in there, and you go borrow 20,000 still, like we just talked about. You keep your ratios at a very high rate, pay off your credit cards, debit cards, whatever other stuff that you have accruing. Make your monthly payments for a little while, pay off your car. I don't know what it is. Whatever has a high rate, right? And I was thinking about this. Like, you can actually do that with the house. Like, people are in a situation where they're going to be buying a house right now at like freaking 7% or just something absolutely crazy, right? And I can't even imagine paying that high of a rate for a house, but people are. And people are going to be in a situation where they're going to be able to extract $1 million on a loan and thereby not have to pay capital gains taxes because, again, you don't have to pay taxes on a loan. And so you end up in a situation where you turn your 100,000 into 5 million. You're like, dude, I'll put $1 million in the protocol. Cool. That $1 million then turns into, or that $1 million you can then borrow against it. Your house may be worth 300, 500, I don't know, whatever the house payment is. You could actually just pay off the whole house And at that point in time, like the debt lifted off your shoulder. You want to talk about like weight lifted off your shoulder, get debt free. It's incredible. Pay off student loans, pay off all that trash. You know what I mean? And as soon as all that's paid off, you still have some nice cash sitting on the side. You have a loan that you don't have to worry about making payments on. You have all this stuff set up in a situation where it's done correctly. And if you do it correctly, yeah, you could actually make it so you never have to make one single payment, y'all. One single payment. Like if you open up a vault right now at 1,000% collateral before the pump and it goes off and does 100x, 1,000x or whatever, and your collateral ratio is at 100,000, 200,000, 500,000%, you're in a situation where the price could never dip down low enough so you can then borrow against it. It's smart. But again, be wise. Like figure out a plan for yourself. I will be using them in the future when we'll be at the top for sure. I think a lot of people will. Yeah, I get it. ATX. I'm very sad. I had almost 500 million PulseX, but was forced to sell because of family reasons. I sold even though I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I'm waiting to redeploy. I sold at a dip of 40145, and then it exploded. So TDM10, like, dude, that's tough. And again, like, I know it's in a situation where if you have the additional capital, you can redeploy it slowly but surely and slowly start building back up into the stack again. It always stinks when you have to sell the bottom. Like, there's never a situation where that feels good, but you got to take care of family, man. And so while the gains may not happen, and they still can happen this cycle, I'm not saying you can't make it, because you can turn $1,000 into $1 million, for example. Like, if this thing goes and does 1,000x, well, you turned $1,000 into $1 million, and that will tend to solve a whole bunch of issues. But let's just assume for a second that you just have some additional capital that you can deploy. Again, I would start with deploying some, put your foot back in the game again, start getting something somewhere, and then once you, this is just me, this is what I would do. Not financial advice by anyone, by any stretch of the imagination, but it happens, man. Like, family comes first, dude. Like, you got to take care of family no matter what. At the end of the day, like, crypto's going to be here. If you don't make it this cycle, you can make it next cycle. It's all good. Don't do something reckless. Don't try to go speed the process up, because what'll happen is you end up deterring yourself for so much longer. If you go try to start chasing new shiny objects and you go connect to a DApp, and then instead of losing the 500, imagine instead of losing 500 million PulseX, you connect to a DApp and you've been able to accumulate another 200 million through your hard efforts and labors, but you're trying to expedite the process up so much faster. And then as soon as that 100 million comes around, or 200 million comes around, you connect to a DApp, and it's a malicious one, and it's a wallet drainer, and then boom, all of it's gone, because you're trying to help, like, you're trying to expedite the process up. So try not to do that, as tough as it is. And I know, like, you see new things, and we all see it, especially with people in yield farms. That's why I stress, if you've never yield farmed before, start, but like be cautious, because you get greedy with the yield. You're like, dude, I don't want 15% anymore. I want to go get that 40. I want to go get that 90. I want the one that's 300. I want the one that's 600. I want the one that just launched right now. And as soon as you connect to one of those dApps, dude, wallet drained, right? And it's like, did you really need to do that? No, but you got impatient. So just be patient through the whole time. Try to accumulate what you can. I get it. I understand. Dude, we all have a situation where you got to do what you got to do. It's painful. It sucks when you have to sell the tokens that you know for a fact are going to do some mad freaking gains. But try to get back in the game where you can and what you can, because it's not that far-fetched. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I was thinking speeding it up and looking into memes like P.I.T.E and others. I'll stick with the core coins. Dude, it happens all the time, man. I'm telling you, it happens. I'm a chase better, and so that's why I don't gamble, and I don't go to a casino, because like if I go to a casino and I'm playing blackjack and I lose $1,000, dude, I put it $1,000 in again, because I need to feel like I need to make it up again, and then I go lose that 1,000. I'm like, fuck, dude, now I need to make up 2,000, so I need to go in more, and it's, you know, I'm a terrible chase better. It's just I'm awful. I don't bet. I don't bet for that reason. And that's the same sentiment that I feel whenever I hear that type of situation, where it's like, you had to do something to take care of family. I understand, but then you try to speed the process up, because now you feel like it's FOMO. It's FOMO kicking in. And then you start chasing these new shiny objects, and now instead of the P.I.T.E token, for example, you start chasing the new one, and the new one, and the new one. And dude, look how many freaking new tokens are launched. It's disgusting, actually. Like, just disgusting, y'all. Even like Solana's the meme coin network. And like, dude, that's trash. But let me just pull up PulseChain, for example, because that's the network that we've been discussing. So let me actually pull up that network as well. PulseChain over here. These are all of the, I'm going to do 5 minutes and I'm going to do new pairs. These are brand new within 1 hour. Wow. I'm actually surprised that right now it's only 8, honestly. Because if you go to 6 hours, you're looking at, this is 6 hours. 64 tokens have been created in the last 6 hours. You go to 24 hours, you start getting into a situation where 244 tokens have been created in the last 24 hours. Like, that's garbage. Garbage. Y'all, that's garbage. Like, this is trash. But that's what happens. And what happens on these new tokens is you end up in a situation where you lock it up through liquidity. Let me actually go back to like page 1 real fast. You lock it up, and I'm just going to kind of go in here. Look how many of these are minus 100, for example. Like, you'll see some of these on pluses, but you'll see minus 100, minus 94, minus 96, minus 96, minus 97, minus 100, minus 99, minus 100, minus 100. Like, yeah, sure, you're going to see 30% on some of them. You're going to see 70% on some of them. Some of them will show a quick little 10x, but with liquidity of $5, yeah, you're not really getting a 10x. You can't cash out anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, all of these things are just fucking trash. They're all of them. All of them are absolute trash, man. But what happens is you get into a meme coin, and then you say, that's not going quick enough. I need to go faster. And then you try to go look for something to go faster. And then that's not quick enough. I need to go faster. And it's like your fucking foot's already full pedal to the metal as hard as you can. You've taken out more loans than ever, and you're just trying to go full pedal to the metal because you just want to make it up. Like, dude, it's dangerous. Liquor, ladies, and leverage. They get you wrecked, man. Like chasing new shiny objects, picking up pennies in front of freight trains. You've heard of all these things so many times. They get you fucking wrecked. And when all you have to do is just hold the core tokens, like, you're going to see mad gains in the core tokens. A 50x, 100x, 1000x. Like, what if your average, if you just buy it during this entire time, is an average of let me just see. Yeah, an average of 300x, and that's your average in the next 12 months, and then you get a massive bull run, and that's your average is a 3x. Well, cool. If you had the ability to put in at any point in time somewhere around $3,000, and you find that over the next 6 months, which is roughly around $500 a month, how can you find that money? You got to find ways, man. You got to be a little bit more frugal. Don't go out to eat every night. Stop drinking every night. You know what I mean? Stop buying cable. Like, look for places that you can be a little bit more frugal, because if this thing goes and does a 300x, you're looking at $3,000 turning into $900,000. Like, how greedy do you need to be, guys? Like, again, that should not be, that's more money than you've probably ever seen in your entire life. More money that you've ever seen in your entire life at one point in time in your portfolio that you have access to. Like, that is crazy. And that's just on a 300x. So I am cautiously optimistic when it comes to all the tokens, but also I do not feel any desire or need to try to speed the process up, because the process is already going to take care of you. You just got to be patient. Do you think we can see a 50% retracement before we really hit the bull market peaks? Dude, and so, like, this is where I would normally say yes, but whenever you start getting into the OA is buying and all of the other stuff is going on, I don't know, man. Whoops. What is going on with my camera? Why are you zooming in on me so much? What, am I like bumping it somehow, some way? Go down. All right, anyways, I just wanted to kind of share that information out there real quick, and I hope that makes a little bit more sense. But do I see a 50% retracement? I don't know, man. Whenever the SAC wallet starts buying, we typically see a quick little 2 to 5x pump within the span of like 12 days. So could there be a potential? Sure. But the best thing you can do is just DCA, man. Like, the best thing anyone can do is just DCA. You're not going to buy the exact bottom. You're not going to buy the exact top. Know that if you go in heavy right now, you're probably going to get a pullback, because that seems like someone's looking over my shoulder every single time I go in heavy. And then I see a retracement and I see a dip, and I'm like, damn it. When will I learn? Just DCA. Like, it happens over and over again. Suck is going to suck. Yeah, dude, for sure. I could emaciated. Don't ever sell those goose that lay the golden eggs. This man just dropped a sermon on legal tax avoidance. Lol. Appreciate that. What else we got? Waiting to redeploy. Thanks for the work you do, man. Of course, always, man. You always play with the dApps with empty wallet, and then after transfer your coins to the vault wallet. Yeah, so like if you are interacting with something brand new, by the way, something brand new, you should go make a degen wallet. It is super simple to do. It takes all of 3 seconds to go make a degen wallet. Once that degen wallet is created, it can't affect any of your core portfolio, but never go degen with your core portfolio wallet. You just don't. Like, so if you're gonna degen, that's plays like yield farming, for example. That's plays like liquid loans, Power City. That's plays like all of those things, or even a degen token itself, meme coins. Okay, cool. In that scenario, be mindful to just go make a degen wallet. And then if you see the mad gains like you might get, chances are unlikely, but if you do see them and you get the mad gains, then you can transfer that back into your core portfolio. That is the way it's done. You do not mess with your core portfolio, man. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Again, like in a situation where, so I'll even call it out. There's no, I won't say your name, but there's someone who lost 300 million Pulse. And then they got a wallet created basically saying, hey, I screwed up. Can you help get this money back type deal? And people gave money to that wallet. And then you see them go on their next post, and then now they're talking about another fucking meme coin all over again. Like, they don't learn. When you rescue them, when you bail them out, they do not learn. Let them burn, man. Let them. It's a learning lesson. We've all had to learn. I've been burned. I have been burned. There's a reason why I have the convictions that I do. There's a reason why I can say, don't buy those shit tokens and just hold on to the core. There's a reason why. Straight up. Because I've been burned. It's happened. It's not fun. I don't want anyone to go through it. But if you have to go through it, so be it, man. I hope you take it as a learning lesson and not just another thing that you just like, oh, well, I lost $40,000, but someone gave me $10,000, and now I'm going to go take that $10,000 and go fucking splurge it on some other random shit because now they're trying to make up the $40,000 that they once had. That's trash. That's not how you do it. But that's what people do, man. So try to prevent it if you can. So again, do I think we see another 50% retracement? Dude, I would be hard pressed, man. Like, I really would. We're seeing some pumps in the ecosystem. We have been bullish since really starting in January. I mean, if you really want to get like super technical with it, we kind of started getting bullish starting in January 8th was like the first real wave of bullish in our ecosystem of PulseChain. And right now we're seeing green candles once again. So like, could I see a 50% retracement? I would be hard pressed to see a 50% retracement, but could I see a 20%? Sure. Right? Because there's going to be some whales that come through, and there's going to be whales that come through and just dump the price. It'll be like this. It'll make a new local top, and then you'll see it drop down. Like, this is a 40% retracement, right? And then like you see moves like this where we almost go back and touch that local top again, and then you get a 25% retracement. I would be more inclined to see like a 20% retracement in this scenario. So it's tough. It's tough to answer that. It is, right? Because like when the OA wallet wants to buy, dude, they got fucking $200 million plus. They can just send this thing to the moon if they wanted to, but they know they can't, because if they do, people are gonna just absolutely FOMO out and just like get like, oh my god, euphoria, boom, sell everything, and then just like, and then just a massive dip. And what happens is when you get a massive pump and then a dip, it has many levels of resistance that you have to push through. And so you don't want to create a massive pump up just for a massive dip down. You want it exactly like we're seeing it, where you see it literally go from here, where it's like pump, where you see a pump up right here, then you see it dip down. Then you see it pump up and dip down, pump up, dip down, pump up, dip down. And it could do this all the way up until the end of March. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see it go pump up. And then we're never going to see these prices again. Like, these prices will eventually never be seen again. These prices, a whale can come in and just absolutely slaughter the price, sure. But they should never be seen again. So, like, I don't see a range where we're back here buying these prices again, personally. And again, this is on PulseX, I get it. But it's the same for all of it. So... And again, if you actually compare PulseX against Pulse, I mean, even right here, based on the ratios, it's about to do a little 1-to-2 swap once again. And once it gets up here, it's probably going to be a resistance level, and you're going to see it dip down. So PulseX could dip, Pulse could pump. All these things are going to move together, but separate at the same time, right? If that makes sense. So all of these tokens, like PulseX, could outperform Pulse for now. And eventually there'll be a day where Pulse is going to outperform PulseX. And then eventually there'll be a day where HEX outperforms all of the tokens. And right now the tokens that's just really shining is the ETH token. It's almost done a 17x in the span of 90 days. Like, that's wild. That's pretty crazy. And it looks like it just wants to keep on moving. Okay. Right? Like, that's a pretty good play right there. It's already sitting at, yeah, dude, like the pump is kind of actually starting right now while we're streaming. And I don't know if like the wallets are going in and buying, but you can see the pumps are actually already kind of kicking off. I actually said that this is always fun when you can pull up these. The ink is going to end up hitting around $10. Now, whether or not it hits it on the 8th or 9th or 10th or whatever, like somewhere in this range, it's going to go up to here. We could see a little pullback back down to $4 again. During this time, we could see a little retracement as well because they're tied together through liquidity. But my first estimate, whenever I first started saying what the dip is going to do, was actually right here. I think I pulled up a chart, and I pulled it up just from like local top at the time to local bottom. No, that wasn't the mark. Where was it? Yep, it was right here. So I did local top to local bottom. Let me just make sure it wasn't this one. Yeah. So it was local top to local bottom. I just said, hey man, we had a little pump happen. Let me just see where we could go. And it was right at the 1618 level, right? So it's very often that you end up hitting the 1618 level, and then on pumps, it ends up doing a 2618 level. So it's going to go back up and touch this $12 range. Now, whether or not it touches that first and then does a Elliott wave pullback correction, and then we end up going back up to here, the pump is in play, guys. So keep that in mind. Like, I don't know if I see another 50% retracement, but that's just my thoughts. Maybe we do. Again, a whale can just step in and slaughter the price, man. And there's people with billions of tokens right now, right? And so like they still got billions of Pulse, billions of PulseX. And if they want to do a market dump all at once, then it's going to tank the price for sure. But with everyone knowing that the bull market's here, it's going to get ate up again. So did you catch it in time? Are you watching the charts? Is it more stress added to your life? Or do you want to do it a simple way of just DCA, 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 regardless of what the price is doing, DCA. And that's kind of what I see happening. So other than that, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream right here today. Again, I'm glad I started the stream off. I'll edit it so that way everyone who's watching this on the replay doesn't necessarily see me sitting around for 2 minutes doing this. But hey, neither here nor there, guys. So much love to every single one of y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful afternoon, wonderful evening. I'll be back tomorrow with another market pulse update in the morning. So I'll check you then. Peace.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities.